good to be back out with our team. A good day of work, considering what the week really needs to be, which is a return to basics, a return to fundamental play. There's a number of players that are going to get crash courses, if you will, to make sure that they're ready for the second half of our season. Brett Hundley would be a guy in that category. And then there's, just about making sure we have the inventory offensively, defensively, and in special teams to be able to compete and compete successfully in what promises to be an exciting second half of the season, starting in Tucson. So we did not game plan for Arizona today. It was more of a day to just make sure that we're building what we need from an attitude standpoint and from a inventory standpoint for the second half. Questions?
What do you Brett to being ready to play?
Well, I'll know more this time next week, but I feel like, given the situation, given how as he looks at the future, how it all stacks up, I think he'll be ready. I think his urgency will go up exponentially.
How about Stoops getting released? Does that do anything preparation?
Well, it's one of those things that as a coach you're saddened by, because I know Mike and I admire Mike and I wish him well. And I also know that he gave a lot of his heart and soul to that university. That being said, I also know that that team will respond in a favorable, in the way that they should, meaning that they'll come out and they'll play. They'll play as hard as they can. Whenever there's a change, regardless of the reasons why, there's always kind of a fresh start. And so that they'll feel like this is a fresh start. And, so from that standpoint, you just know they're going to have a lot of energy when they step onto the field. We got to match that. We've got every bit the same reason for our energy to be high. So we've just got to understand that and look forward to that kind of contest.
Does that make the preparations a little bit of a wild card in terms of that there might be some tinkering with what they've been doing?
Well, certainly there can be some tinkering, because if there were things that coaches wanted to do but were not allowed to because of Mike's wishes, those are no longer there. So that can happen, and they have extra time to get it accomplished. But I don't know how you can prepare for that, other than you just get ready to play and make adjustments as they occur during the course of a game.
What are some of the key fundamentals during the bye week that you're going to work on to improve?
Well, offensively, we want to make sure that we've got all the equipment necessary, both from a running and passing game. We've got to get Kevin back up to speed. We've got to get Brett Hundley caught up, and we've got to have balance in our offense, as well as the ability to continue to run the ball successfully. Defensively, we've got to do a better job of stopping the run. Now, this team has not shown a propensity for that being something that they're really excited about, but they've ran the ball against us in the past. They did a great job against us a year ago running the football, and so we've got to be prepared for that. But ultimately, the third down defense is where we've got to make the big stride in the second half of the season.
At the beginning of the season, there was a big focus on having a balanced offense. How happy are you with that, basically halfway through the season?
Well, I'm happy. Now, I look at the stats, and we're last in the conference in passing, but we're right at 200 yards a game. I mean, this is a very pass-happy conference. There was a long time ago when 200 yards would have been right in the middle of the conference. But our yards per attempt are way up from they were a year ago. So we're getting what we want from the passing game. We'd like to be able, this is the first time in a long time where somebody controlled the clock on us. Washington State did a good job of that. We were fortunate to find ways to victory, but we've got to have balance. We've got to do what the defense is telling us to do by the way they play us. Tony's, we're trying to just rest him up and see if whatever's ailing him can subside. And ultimately, we'll make a decision next week as to where he is and what his future is with respect to this season. Nelson has a little bit of a foot sprain, but don't think it's anything significant, just resting him a couple days.
How about Evans?
Shaq had the laceration to his face. They are nervous of some concussive symptoms. but we're not sure if it's. We'll hopefully have him back before the end of this week too.
He seemed to hit knees with the guy on that play. Is the knee okay?
Knee's fine. Yeah, the only thing that they thought he was a little bit dazed, and the cut on the face.
Is there any timetable for Richard? Is that kind of
Well, it was
figured out anymore?
as I've been told, it was a clean break, and so there's every reason to think that he could make it back. You know, and knowing his history of healing quickly, I wouldn't be shocked to see him back here before too long goes by.
How did Kevin look today?
Good. You know, he's a good player. We've always thought so. It's about consistency for him, and we're going to work his tail off so that we can expect consistency on Saturdays.
Have you really gone over the was that when a guy has 3 interceptions like that? Is that something you pinpoint every single mistake in that, or do you push that away?
Well,
go the other way with it?
Both. The answer is you want to learn from it, but then you want to file it away so it doesn't become a burden, doesn't become baggage that you're carrying around with you. You know, ultimately Kevin's got to relax and throw and not aim. It's a great line in Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid where the guy can't hit Robert Redford can't hit anything, and he looks at the guy and says, "Can I move?" And all of a sudden he hits the target 15 times in a row or what have you, and it's because he's not thinking. And really that's what we get Kevin to do, just not think about should I, shouldn't I, just throw and trust your reads and let it go.
He asked Strother Martin.
Strother Martin, there it was.
Just so
Bingo.
Do you think any Kevin's maybe overthinking has to do with kind of having Richard sort of over his shoulder the whole time, and now?
Well, I don't think so. I don't think Kevin shied away from competition. I really didn't. Kevin, wants to succeed as badly as anybody. I just think Kevin needs to relax and play, and we're going to work his tail off so that he doesn't have anything else to think about. But let's just go.
Did that quarterback situation that you need to get those guys some more time now, does that kind of affect the way you've structured the practices this week, or how much does it
a little bit, in terms of how we go about what drills. This last period of practice where we did pass under pressure against our own defense was maybe the best drill of the day because it's live action, or at least as close to live action as we can manufacture without having bodies all over the field, and it also makes guys make decisions with respect to protection with reads and so forth. So those are all terrific learning lessons, especially for the youngster. Everybody good? All right.